welcome to this module 3 on GIS. So this is the first lecture on EduSat. I'll give you a gentle introduction what is GIS. So as per this lecture, what I do is I'll give you a general understanding by giving a small examples, day-to-day examples, and then give you some understanding about the concepts of GIS and then potentials of GIS. What is the market? What are the analysis potential? What are the applications we can use GIS? And then what are the hardware and software requirements for GIS? And then I'll also briefly touch on what is the history of GIS, and then some points on technological trends in the GIS and remote sensing, followed by the interactive sessions. So that is based on your questions what we receive. So let us start understanding GIS. Suppose I hope most of you understand geography. See, you might be seeing the maps, you might be seeing the Google Earth images, you might have seen satellite images. You were also told in the last module about remote sensing and digital image processing. So suppose we are given a map, start with a topographical map. Then I can ask you what you get from the map. So suppose if I give a map, so then immediately I ask you what is there on the map. So you can say that this map belongs to Assam, Guwahati, or this map belongs to Dehradun or Delhi or Madurai, etc. So then you will also tell that what is the bounding coordinates of that map. So you say that these are the coordinates of this map, and then you will also see the scale of the map and then level of the information what it contains. And again, suppose I can ask you that can we measure the and then quantify on the map. So then somebody wanted to go from Dehradun to Delhi. If he is having a map, so then he can see that how much distance from here to Delhi, and then multiply it with the scale factor, you will get the total distance. Otherwise, maps sometimes they will also display that Dehradun to Delhi. So they will also give some legend and then give that okay, this is 275 kilometers. So or if you take an area, then you can also see that what is the forested area, what is the is a dense forest or a sparse forest or is an open forest. So all those things you can measure on that, and then you can also quantify how much area it is. Then suppose I ask, is it possible to find the changes? You may say it is not possible, because with one map, how do we find the changes? At least we require two maps to see what are all the changes are occurred. Suppose if you have a map of 75 and a map of 1990 or 2000, so then you can see the difference and then find out the changes. So then let us link to the GIS. So how these maps are linked to the GIS? So when you come to the GIS, one component of GIS is producing, you can say that generating the output according to the requirements. So I say that I wanted to generate a map, a land use land cover map. So taking the database, from that you can, if it is already created, then from that you can take that land use land cover map. Suppose if you have a height map, you can also see the height map in the map form in terms of a 3D. You can also show that in a perspective view of 3-dimensional. So that means whatever is map on the map we are seeing, so this information, if the database is created already, so that you can get from the GIS. So that means you can the maps, whatever you see, so this is also part of a component of the GIS once the database is created. So you can say it is advanced cartography facility in case of GIS. So let us talk about remote sensing data in relation to GIS. What we get from the satellite data. So satellite data is something, what is that? It is something like that, remotely sensing some data and then deriving the information from that. That means acquiring the information without directly coming in contact of the object. So from that, the digital numbers can be converted into some useful information. So you say that there is a water body, there is an agriculture field, or you can say the forested area. It is the information according to the time, so for a particular time. So then, can we find the changes from the satellite data, and how it is possible? It is possible, suppose if we use two different time data. Suppose I take today's date and then see the 10 years back or 1 year back and find out the changes what has happened. So for that, what you are doing is, you are taking the satellite data, classifying into a different classes, and for different periods of the data, we can record into a GIS. So then GIS will help you. Suppose I say that I wanted to find what are the changes have taken place from 2000 to 2009. So those two data is there. So then that can be used to find the changes. So suppose there is a tsunami pattern. Tsunami is occurred somewhere in the ocean, Bay of Bengal, and then it is coming to the Indian Bay of Bengal coast and hitting. So the tsunami occurred at certain time and then coming and hitting at our place. Suppose if you have some models, predicting models, so you can generate a model when the tsunami is generated, when it is going to hit the coast. So the pattern of movement can be found from taking the time series of data. We can also find what is the pattern of the development in an urban area. You take a Delhi, you take Hyderabad, you take Bangalore. So how the Delhi urban area is growing and which direction it is going. So the pattern of the development. So that all you can do it. Suppose you have a time series data for that area. So how this series, this is a part of satellite data, but you cannot do directly, but you can bring it to the computer in a GIS database, and then using the GIS database, you can find what are the changes that have taken place, what are the patterns. Can we quantify the information in case of satellite data? Yes, we can quantify the information, and that information can be digitally recorded. So this way, our remote sensing is related to GIS. Suppose I wanted to find what is there, and then where it is there, and then you use different time period data. You can also find the changes, and then if you total time series data,